and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a recommendation video. I haven't done one of these in a while. I think my last one was Halloween ones. I don't remember when the last one was. But it is getting to the end of Halloween, and for some reason I am not in a horror mood. I'm not in a horror mood. I just can't get into books right now. And then I read this specific book, which will be in this video, and immediately I was like, I want the cozy vibes. I want the cozy vibes. And I feel like it's because it doesn't feel like autumn in Charlotte. It's too hot. So like, yeah, the leaves are falling. It looks like it, but it still like gets hot during the day. So it doesn't feel like Halloween. It doesn't feel like October going into November. So when I read the Cozy Vibes book, I was like, it's autumn. It is autumn and I'm ready. So I kind of wanted to make a video about cozy reads and the books that make me feel like it's autumn. It's funny because anytime I read a cozy book, even if it's set in summer, it still makes me feel like it's fall. It's probably not that way for everybody, but that's kind of how I feel about it. So I have compiled a list of what I consider cozy books. These are not all going to be listed as cozy books. A lot of these are just listed as the other genres that they are. I feel like most genres will say like, oh, I guess this is like cozy in the genre, but everyone knows cozy mystery is a thing. There is one of those books on this list. However, cozy books exist in every genre. It's harder to find them, and most of the time you don't find them until you're reading them. So this is kind of, to me, a cozy list. And I feel like these books are a lot of books that people have already read, but just in case you haven't, these are cozy vibes books, and I hope that maybe you find one off of here that you want to read. So to begin with, let's talk about what I think is a cozy book. Most of the time, I would say a cozy book is definitely the vibes. It's definitely the vibes. Hopefully fall, around fall, winter time would be cozy, but it doesn't have to be. I would say it's mostly just this feeling of when you're reading it, you just want to find like the nearest person and hug them. Like literally give them the biggest hug. And I'm not a hugger. So that's like a big deal. So that's kind of like my biggest criteria. The other thing that I kind of look for in what adds to the vibe is small town. I mean, it's kind of like when you watch Gilmore Girls, at least the couple first seasons, it's small town vibes, and it's just this cozy feeling of happiness. And that's kind of like what I go for in these books, is small town, everyone kind of knows each other, and it makes a really fun time, and it adds like a little bit of drama, but it's never like over the top drama. And most of the time, a cute romance. Like, it definitely does not have to be in there. It does not have to be in there to be a cozy book, but a lot of times I like a little romance in my cozy books. So I think most of these, a little romance in them. I can't remember if one of them does or not. Most of them have a little bit of romance in there, even though sometimes they are not the focus. But a lot of them, I realize now looking at this list, most of them have romance as a big point in the books. So let's get started with obviously the biggest and easiest to find cozy mystery. I have read a lot of cozy mysteries, and I tend to like all of them. They're fun books. They're great. If you want cozy mysteries, then my recommendation, and what I feel like not a lot of people have read, is Real Murders by Charlaine Harris. A lot of people may know this author's name. Yes, she wrote the True Blood series. No, this will not be on this list because I don't find that a cozy series at all. That series stresses me out. But Real Murders, this is such a fun, cozy series. And if you're not into reading and you're watching this for some reason, there is a Hallmark series. They turned this into a Hallmark series. It's totally different, but the cozy vibes are there. This takes place in the small town Lawrencetown, Georgia, and our main character is Aurora Teagarden, and she lives there in town with her mom, and she's like the local part-time librarian, and it's just so cute. And she has like a series of romances throughout the books, and it's just a really fun time, and she somehow always gets wrapped up in these murder mysteries that are happening in her town. So this is a very much real, generic cozy mystery kind of thing if you just want a quick series. And this is actually a pretty long series. I have all the books. I think it's like about 10, 11 books, something like that. So this will keep you occupied for a long time. There is one book in it that has like not my favorite theme, but other than that one book in the whole series, it is fantastic. Really, really enjoy this one. Cannot recommend this one enough. Probably will be rereading it rather soon. My next recommendation, I'm going to stick to the same author. This is the only 2 books from this author, but this recommendation is going to be for cozy fantasy, and that's a very strange genre, but it is. And this is probably my favorite series on this list, but it is called Midnight Crossroads by Charlaine Harris. This is what I would pick up, not True Blood. This is such a good fantasy cozy read, and it takes place in this small town called Midnight, Texas, and it is like 4 houses filled with people, and there's something magical about all of them, and it has like ley line things, so it attracts supernatural forces. Again, this is another one that was actually made into a TV series. It didn't last that long. I think it has 1 season on like NBC or CBS, one of those. Actually really good. It was actually pretty good, and it stuck kind of close to this. But this is a great series, and it's only 3 books. They are a little bit longer than like your average cozy mystery, but they are so good. And again, this is a series that I would 100% read again. This is one of my favorite like cozy series because it's got everything in it. It's got so much action and it's so much fun, but at the same time it's this like really small town and everyone knows each other, and it's really fun, and I enjoy this one a lot. My next cozy is actually going to be a manga. I know this is kind of odd to put in there. A lot of people don't like manga. If you don't like it, just skip ahead. But this is one that I absolutely love, and I've read it a few times now, and it's Ao Haru Ride. I don't know, I'm not saying it right. The American version is called Blue Spring Ride, but this is the cutest series ever. It is following our main character who had a crush on a boy in middle school. He disappeared, and now they're in high school, and he comes back, and it's all about friendship and romance, and it's just so good in finding yourself and being like true to who you are. And this is just one of those books that you just I love the series. I think there's 13 volumes. They're super quick to get through because they're mangas, so they're quick to read. But this is so good if you want something a little different but you still want like those cozy vibes. Definitely recommend the series. And it's also really easy to get. A lot of manga right now are really hard to get. This is all available on Amazon or through bookstores, so that's also really exciting. My next one is also a little bit different. I feel like I went with the different ones at the beginning. I started with cozy mystery and then I went a little bit odd. This is what you would consider a cozy horror. It's definitely still for horror fans, but I would not recommend this for any hardcore horror fans. And I actually got this idea from Gabby Reads. She read one of this author's books and was not a fan of them because they're cozy horror, and that's actually why I like them. And it is The Carrow Haunt by Darcy Coates. I would be careful which one of her books you pick up though. You cannot pick up a random one of her books, because I picked up one of her other books, From Below, and it was one of the scariest books I've ever read, and it was not a cozy horror at all. So stick with like her haunted house books. She has like The Haunting of Ashbourne House, The Haunting of Gillespie House. Those are most likely going to be the cozy horror books. But this one is following our main character, who is a tour guide for a haunted house, and she's paid a bunch of money to stay overnight at this at the house, and obviously hauntings happen, but it's very cozy because it's I know it's funny to say horror is cozy, but there's no death, there's no angst, there's nothing like that, and there's a little bit of romance thrown in there too. It's not overly scary, it's like a little like creepy, but overall this is a small town, people know each other kind of thing again, and they're all stuck in the house together over the night, and it's a small group of people, and you all get to know the people in the house, and it's more focused on the little romance and a little bit of the haunting, and it's just a really fun book. So if you want to read a horror book but you don't want to go all out and read like a horror book, this is a really good book to try out. Okay, in my opinion, we're down to like the coziest of cozies. And first we're going to be talking about cozy fiction literature. There's actually a ton of cozy books that are fiction literature. In my opinion, they should be separated into like cozy fiction literature so it's easy to find them. I have such a hard time finding cozy fiction that's not mystery. So I was so excited. This is actually a recommendation by my mom. My mom's actually really good at finding these books, and I don't know how she does it. It's like some sort of superpower. I have a couple books upstairs from that she's like recommended that are cozy fiction that I need to get to. But my favorite one by far that she recommended, and probably my favorite book on this list, is called The Book Charmer. It takes place in Dove Pond, North Carolina, and it's a super cozy small town. You get the autumn vibes from this. It's so just, oh, I just love this book so much. I'm currently reading the second one. It's called A Cup of Silver Linings. But these books are so heartwarming, and there's romance in them, but they're definitely not the focus. If you don't want to read like a heavy romance-focused, cozy book, then I would definitely pick up The Book Charmer. So it's following our main character, and how these books work is in the town of Dove Pond, there are 7 sisters, the Dove sisters, and they each have like some weird magical abilities. So in this one, we're following Sarah Dove, who is supposed to be what's called a book charmer, and she supposedly can talk to the books, or the books talk to her, and the books tell her where they want to go, like who needs this book the most. But this mainly is focusing on this woman who is a city girl who has come to town to take care of some business, and she kind of wants to get in and get out right away. And Grace wants nothing to do with this town, and of course the town ropes her into what's going on, and there's a little cute romance, and it's just, oh my gosh, I love this. I love this. If you want a fiction literature book, this is the one. This one is so good, and it's so cozy, and it's great. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on this book. This is such a good book. This one is going to come as no surprise, but this is our cozy graphic novel. I know it's odd to put in there, but it's Heartstopper. I mean, I don't know how you have a cozy video without including Heartstopper. This, I would say, it gets a little less cozy, like towards book 4 when they get a little more serious. But this first and second one, it's just so good. It's a warm hug in a book. It's just absolutely lovely. And if you have not read this, then I don't know what you're doing. That's all I'm gonna say about it, because I feel like everyone's read this, and it's just so good, and that's all that you need to know. It's just amazing. Okay, next up are my romance picks. I do have 2 romance picks, because I feel like romance these days is very graphic, which again I'm okay with. I read a lot of spicy romance, but these are on the lesser spicy side and more on the cozy side. So my first pick is going to be Part of Your World. This book is so good. This is so good. I mean, it is the quintessential Hallmark movie of a book, and I think its spice level is like 1. I think it's definitely like focused on more of the building of a romance than the culmination of the romance. So you're following our 2 main characters. One woman is from the city life. She's a doctor, and she's very stressed all the time, and she goes out and meets a man who lives in the country, and it's just it's so good. I'm surprised this isn't a Hallmark. Honestly, it probably is a Hallmark movie, but it was made like years ago, and it's just because it's so quintessentially a Hallmark movie. It takes place small town. The small town is trying to rope her into living there, and you're dealing with family problems. It's a lot in cozy books is family problems, family drama, but nothing like too extreme. Just families not getting along like they should and understanding each other. So that's, I mean, it's so good. It's so good. I love it. If you want to read a cute romance and be screaming while you're reading it because it's so good, highly recommend this one. This is one of my favorite romances I've probably read in years. I love this book. Okay, the next are 2 books. It's 2 books. They just came out. Everyone's reading them right now, and they are perfect for Halloween. But it is The Ex-Hex and The Kiss Curse. Oh my goodness. If you want to read, this is actually the book, this one inspired this video. If you want to read a book right now that is like Halloween, autumn vibes, cozy, everything, this is the one. This is, I would say, at a 5 spice level, I would 2 or 3, 2.5. Say 2.5 for some really spicy things. So I would say it's about a 2.5. There's definitely some like graphic scenes. However, it's not like the focus of the book. It's definitely the small town and figuring out like the little mystery that's going on in town, and Halloween. The focus is Halloween and the witches, and it's just, this got me so into the mood for Halloween, and I have been doing like, I've been trying to chase the vibes of this book, and I'm having a hard time. Like, this is such a good vibes book, and I actually do like, so the X-Hex I read last year, the Kiss Curse I read, literally I just finished it a few days ago, and I actually like the second one better, but I do think you need to read the first one before you read the second one. But, oh, they're so good. Halloween vibes, having a great time, solving witchy mysteries, and like, just reinvigorated my love for witches. So I feel like I'm gonna be in my witch phase all through November. So I am so excited about these books. I love them. I cannot wait for the third one. And I know there's gonna be a third one. I know there is gonna be a third one because there's a third brother. So there's gonna be a third one. I cannot wait for it next year. And that is my last book in the series. I feel like I left the best for last just because Halloween. We're still in Halloween time, so I gotta include a Halloween cozy book. But anyway, that is my list. I had a really fun time organizing this, and it just made me want to read more cozy books. I'm currently reading, like I said, the second book in the Book Charmer series, A Cup of Silver Linings. I'm actually currently reading, what is it? It's by Ali Hazelwood. It's not The Love Hypothesis, it's the other one. And those I cannot consider cozy because they are much more spicy. And they don't really fit what I would say cozy, but they are giving me like some of the good vibes I got from the X-Hex. And the Kiss Curse, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, that is my cozy list. I just wanted to make a really short, cute, cozy list that you guys can pick up a book if you haven't read one yet. I know a lot of these are probably books that people have already read, especially because a couple of them are Book of the Month books, and Book of the Month is like everything when it comes to the romance books. Please let me know down below in the comment section if you have any other cozy books that you want to recommend. I would love to hear them. I would love to hear any other cozy books that you recommend, cozy mysteries, everything. The only one that I couldn't find for this list was sci-fi, because I don't read a lot of sci-fi. So I guess the closest to sci-fi cozy would be like Geekerella, but I still don't consider that cozy, so I couldn't include this on this list. So yeah, I really don't read that much sci-fi, so if you have a cozy sci-fi pick, I would love to hear that. And let me know why it's cozy. And if you have read any of these and you don't think that they're cozy, let me know, because I'll be very curious what you think that they are. And that's all I got for this. Make sure you like the video, subscribe for more recommendations and book reviews. I've been a little slow getting videos out because I've just been so busy. We actually have redone like our whole lawn in front of our house. We just had half of our tree cut down, and it's just been crazy here, and I've been working more, so it's been crazy. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys, and I hope you find a book that you want to read and enjoy it. So yeah, that's all I got. See you guys in the next video.